Fantastic. Okay. Hi, welcome to Saturday. Today is Saturday, April the 29th, and I finished the Amazon Warrior quilts the last stream on Thursday. Since then, I actually finished off putting on the edges of the Amazon Warrior, filled up my bobbin box, and started to prepare to make some more of my Japanese wood spirits. I am still in the process of the prep phase. I was hoping that I could get more done than what I did, but I haven't. So I have started cutting out. So I got the gray, the black, and the white cut out. I still have to cut all of these, and I still have to combine strips and cut them. So that's what today is working on the Japanese wood spirit, and then I will get as far as I can with it. And then tomorrow I will finish it up, and I don't know, I haven't quite decided what I'm going to finish doing tomorrow. I've got the t-shirt quilts to work on. I've got so batting together. I may show you guys how to take your old scrap batting and combine it to put it into quilts for the future, because batting moves like it is, so it's fine. So I'm thinking I may do that because I've got to get some batting prepared for tomorrow. So. Alright, so let's get working on my wood spirit. Whenever I combine strips together, oh, that's another thing I don't know if I've mentioned. All of my patterns now that come as kits for the entire top, you get all of the fabric for the top of the quilt, but it also comes pre-cut. So I'm now already cutting your 3.5-inch strips and your 2-inch strips. That's another thing I have to do before next weekend, is I've got to make some more quilt kits. Because all the quilt kits that I had have been dropped off to the wonderful lady who runs my Etsy store for me. That's right, I need to move this over. I forgot. There we go, now I can see chat. Hey Doug, how are you? Yeah, it's been so long since you've seen me streaming. You didn't realize I was back to 2 cameras. So Mike's computer did the job. His computer's powerful enough to handle the cameras, and the updates didn't screw it up. So back to 2 cameras. So that means I can start hosting people again. Oh, I know. You have your doctorate stuff coming up. So I'm sure there's a lot that you are trying to get done. Oh, wow. Nice. Oh, is this the one that you were working on the lighting board for? My squeaky machine. I should oil it. Do you at least have a break before your next set of shows then? guess that's some break. That's like my break between shows right now for me. It seems like as soon as I finish one, I'm running right back into another one. So I definitely feel you. You know, at C2E2 was really, really good, and it was amazing. Although I was exhausted. When I got home, I slept for 2 whole days. It was absolutely exhausting. Alright, I'm going to take a break from sewing and start cutting more of these. I'm wondering if I turn this light on, if it would still have glare. Maybe. Yeah, it's too much glare. Really like having that light on, but camera's more important right now. Alright. Yeah, I was so freaking exhausted from C2E2. I slept constantly. It was ridiculous. I'm waiting for the iron to warm up. Oh, there they are. I couldn't find my favorite scissors. So I sold at C2E2, I sold my my samples for the Amazon Warrior and the Japanese Wood Spirit. So that's what I am doing right now. In the last 2 streams, I made 2 more Amazon Warriors. And now I'm making 2 more Japanese Wood Spirits. So I'm actually making 2 quilts at one time. It's more efficient this way. Okay, nice and warmed up. You know what? Let's do that. There we go, now I have more light. Does that look okay? Alright, good. It doesn't wash everything out. Awesome. Okay, I've got... Okay, this is light green. I need 20 of these. So 4, 8, 12. I don't think there's 2. Nope, can't do anything with that. Yeah, I don't want to move that closer. I'll wait. So that's 12. Yeah, and it never fails this time of year. My allergies really start acting up, and I think going to Chicago aggravated it more. There's something that Chicago has. I don't know if it's pollen, if it's the trees, if it's the flowers, the dust, the people. I don't know. But it seems like every time I go to Chicago, my allergies really get bad. Chicago and Philadelphia. I don't know what Philadelphia has that makes me sneeze and things. So I've had almost a constant headache since I've gotten home for my allergies. Every now and then I can get rid of it, and then it comes back. Okay, so that's 12, 16, 20. Okay, and I need 12 of the 3.5s. So 4, 8, now the technique that I'm doing here for cutting these, I don't know if I've actually done this on camera before because I've always gotten the prep done beforehand. This is just an easy, fast way to cut multiple pieces at the same time. There are some people that are able to do 3, 4, and 5 strips. I find my accuracy goes down the more strips I do. And for me, 2 strips gives me the most accurate cut while being efficient at the same time. So you just line the one on top of the other. Make sure that the line, your top line here, is exactly parallel with the line above it. And I had 8 3.5s, and I need 12. So there's my 12. Okay. Now I need 24. 2. So 4, 8. Cutting fabric is riveting. Thanks. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24. Almost as riveting as when I sit and just sew the strips on the machine, right? Okay, and that is all of the light green background fabric. Come on, Doug. You're on the edge of your seat. Yeah. Although I've noticed that a lot of the people that that are on my team that I've been hosting while I've been off are playing a lot of Mario Kart. Alright, so for green, I need 2 6.5s and 2 2s. That's it. Okay, and last color for the regular cuts for the 3.5s. Alright, tan. I need 16 long ones. 4, 8, 12. Nope, not quite 2. Yes, yes, I know. And you know I don't mind the snark. Hey, just sitting and talking to you while I sew actually helps me go a little faster. So next weekend, it's Free Comic Book Day. Do you have any comic book stores in your little town that participate? For 8, 12, 16, and I need 8, 3.5, 4, 8, and then I need 12 twos. 4, 8, 12. Okay, that's all trash. Hi, Topical. Thank you very much. I appreciate the sympathy. Oh, Doug, by saying you had one, I'm assuming that it's no longer in business. And that game one of the Capitals Penguins, it's funny. So it's, if it wasn't for that first minute and a half of the second period, I don't know what happened there. It's funny, in the middle of the second, I actually put I put Alfred's jersey on him. That's my Papillon Chihuahua. He's got a little jersey for the Capitals, so I put it on him. And all of a sudden, they did so much better. So tonight, I am going to put the jersey on him right away. He passed away about 2 years ago. The 2 younger men who bought it from his estate. Oh, that stinks. The nice thing about living in a city, even if it's a smaller city like I live in, is that we have a couple of really, really, really good comic book shops. And of course, Carol, who I take to C2E2 with me all the time, owns my favorite one here, which is LA Mood. So she runs LA Mood, and they actually go to C2E2 to find guests and artists and things like that for our local convention. But they've gotten together with a whole bunch of the other comic book shops here in town, and oh wait, okay, that way. I just want to make sure that I do it the right way. Yes. They got together with a bunch of the other comic book shops here in town, and they actually do a comic book crawl. So they actually have a crawl to where you get a map, kind of like what the quilt stores do. That you get a map at the ahead of time, and then you visit all of the comic book shops, and you also visit the downtown public library. And if you get a stamp at all these shops and the library, then you get entered to win prizes. And it's freaking cool. So not only do you get to go to these shops to get free comic books, but if you visit them all and get your stamps, you can win prizes as well. So it gets the city and the community out that normally doesn't participate in Free Comic Book Day. It gets them out, gets comics in their hands, and they go, hey, these comics are actually kind of cool, and it gets more people reading comics. So it's a really, really cool thing. And for the past 2 years, I've missed it because I've been down in Maryland watching playoff hockey. So this year I decided that, you know what, I am not going to Maryland until after Free Comic Book Day so that we can go. So Jord just dyed her hair a really cool shade of green. So she's going to wear her Mark Hamill Joker suit. And then I've got a Black Widow, a movie, Avengers Black Widow cosplay that I'll probably wear. So we'll cosplay together as we go around and do all this. So I'm looking forward to it. Okay, this is light green with gray. I need 2 and 4. So there's 2 and 4. So that's what's going on next weekend. I don't know if I'm going to stream in the afternoon or not. I may not make that decision until Wednesday or Thursday. Oh, so you want a picture of Jordan and I next weekend? I'll probably put it up on my personal Facebook. I don't know if I'll put it up on my Quiltoni Facebook, but I might. Depends on how happy I am with how my cosplay looks. So, topical, back to hockey. Yeah, so my husband at the end of the game, he kept going, "Oh man, this is the best 2 minutes." The last 2 minutes of the game. He goes, "Oh, this is fantastic. They're doing so good." And I'm like, stop. Unless they score, it's not a fantastic 2 minutes. It's giving me heart attacks. I seriously think playoff hockey is going to give me a heart attack one of these days. I'll miss my stream, and everyone will be like, "Why? Where is Tony? Why is she not streaming?" It's because hockey gave me a heart attack. Okay, so I need 14, 2, 3. So hopefully tonight's game goes much better. You notice how I'm not wearing the jersey on the stream today? It's because it didn't work for luck last time. So I may pull out an old school jersey, like maybe Brashear or someone like that, and wear that tonight while I'm watching it. Or I might go no jersey. I gotta switch it up a little. Oh, and I changed my layout thing a little bit better. So if, and I actually got the idea from the donation the other night. So now if someone donates or hosts me, I think it's a host, it'll get a little thing in the center with, announcing it in addition to going for the event list. So what's an interesting twist, Doug? Okay, that's 7. Now I need 16. The nice thing when I do 2 quilts at a time, it's doubled, so I only have to count the top. So I count them like it's a single one. So I count 16 cuts. And I know I have 32, which is how many I need. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I know an entire strip will give me 10 cuts. So I can stop there for that one, and the next strip will give me all the cuts I need. Gunner's new lady friend is apprenticing it. Oh! Really? Nice! So I assume his lady friend is an artist? And for those of you watching on YouTube or who do not know Doug, Gunner is his son. So, I know, right? Okay. That's what I was thinking too. I'm thinking, And it's not cheap, okay? Not at all. You still have to pay her what she's worth, but whenever she's apprenticing, it won't cost as much until she's a full-fledged tattoo artist. And I do trades for things. So I will trade quilts for ink. Just saying. I love trades. I love doing commissions for amazing things that I want. I have done trades for professionally made t-shirts. I've done trades for corsets. For dresses, for cosplay. There's a bunch of things. I'm trying to think what else. I know I've done more trades than that. Okay, so 10 of these. One. My ink, yeah, I know, right? Have I shown you my my new ink on my leg yet? For death? I don't think I've shown it on my stream yet. I say new, I got it last June. Maybe it was August. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, and that's all for this color. Okay, well I didn't know if I had put a picture up or if you've seen or anything else. Alright, I'll show you the ink in a sec. I think I had my Tetris, my Game Boy Tetris at St. Louis. I don't remember. So I've got, of course, my Game Boy Tetris. And you can't really see it too well on the camera. Yeah, it's Tetris playing Game Boy. So here's my new one I got last August. It is the Sandman. The Sandman version of Death. Yeah, okay, I'm making sure it doesn't reverse it, and it doesn't. So, and you can't really, it doesn't show up too well, but yeah, she's freaking awesome. I love her. I have always had a little tiny obsession with Death from Sandman. That's why, if you notice, whenever I'm sewing, I've got my Ankh here. I actually did that when I was young. I think I was 13 or 14 whenever that comic first came out, and so I did that. Yeah, no, she's really awesome. My artist that I have here is just amazing. She is so freaking awesome. She's got a huge wait list, so you have to, like, I waited almost a whole year for her to do that for me, because she's so talented and so amazing. I like the moment that I showed my ink, I dropped a couple viewers. Yeah. Alright, so gray with green. I need 1 and 2. No, this is gray with light green. Okay, I shouldn't have any gray with light green. I think I messed it up. Yeah, I cut something wrong. Or sewed something wrong. Okay, so I've got green and light green. Got gray and tan. Oh, you know what? I think these are supposed to go off to the side. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. Alright, well, let's set it aside for now. counts are all right. All right, let's do this one then. So in the quilt instructions, when you cut your strips in half like this, you always want to make sure that you cut them all the same way. So you don't want to cut it with the tan on top and then with the black on top. You cut them both with the tan on top. Oh, you know what? That was supposed to be a gray with green, not a gray with light green. That's where the problem is. Okay, so I need to do a gray with a green. I just grabbed the wrong one. So a gray with a green. Okay, into the scraps. Oh, you also haven't been on for a while, Doug, so you probably didn't hear me talk about my graphic designer. So my new layout for Twitch for my graphic designer was ready a couple weeks ago, although I asked him to hold off on it because I added on all of my social media. So all of my social media is going to have the same look and feel as my Twitch. So it's all going to be consistent across the board. So I'm super excited about that. Okay, black and tan, 6 3.5s. And this is going to be extra because I only need these. So he's supposed to have them for me by next weekend, so I'm super excited about that. Go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, no, consistency is fantastic. I'm super excited about it. Okay, that one can go up there because that's going to be in the very bottom. And you may have noticed there is a big empty space behind me on the wall. That's because I have not had the chance to go through all of my bins from the convention and find my logo quilt that I have. You know what I should do? I should hang my... Yeah, I'm going to hang another quilt. I think I've got a sleeve on this one. Yep, I do. So, this is how you hang a quilt. If you have a smaller art quilt, you want to put a sleeve on the back of it and make sure the sleeve has some slack in it. That way, oh, it's starting to fall off a little bit. That way you can hang it. So, in this case... got my bar. You take your bar, Oh no, oh, I've been talking about C2E2 a lot over the past couple of days. There we go. Alright, so I've got my bars in there. And then I hang it just like that. Maybe I should, yeah, move him over a little bit. Yeah, he's a little off. There we go. That's good. I can sit and look at that. I just like having something there, right? Okay. Maybe I should make another piece quilt to hang there. Yeah, so I've been so busy I haven't had a chance to go through any of my bins. And my Q quilt, the pixelated quilt that hangs behind me, is, yeah, it's a moose. It's a stained glass moose. So the stained glass link that I made, that's the technique that I used. So I haven't had a chance to go through all the bins and find it again to hang behind me. Hi, Marley. You good boy? You are. Would you like me to move your bed over for you so I'm not bothering you when I iron? Here you go, baby. So, do you know how much the stained glass quilts cost? The lap size link from Breath of the Wild that I made appraises at $1,500. That's just the lap size. Okay, so this is light green and black. 13 and 18. Oops. 3.5, not 4.5. So one day when you win the lottery and you can afford to pay me for a California King stained glass TARDIS, I will make it for you. Oops, there's 6. Alright, let me sit and do the math. Because with a stained glass, because it's an art quilt, it's a certain dollar amount per square foot. So the link is 36 inches by 42. I'm just looking at my measurements. Ugh, stupid ads. There we go. Quilting. Quilt sizes. A California King is going to be about 90 by 120. No, seriously, I'm going to actually figure this out. So 90 by 120. And we said it was 36 by 42. So factor of the king. It would be $7,000 for a California king stained glass quilt. Not as much as your 20. Would I like someone to buy that? Sure. I would appreciate you giving me $20,000. And you know, if you gave me $20,000 for that, I would do a whole bunch of extra special things in there. Alright, so I got 6 and I need 13. So this is going to make 12 after this strip. I think you can see it, yeah. So if you look up there, that is the Link stained glass quilt for Nicole. I finally finished quilting it. I just need to bind it. Nope. I keep wanting to move them and put them over there. You know, I absolutely love this fabric. I am so happy that I opened up an account with Moda. And I'm doing most of my quilts with the Moda marbles now. Because the colors are so bright and vivid. And they're just amazing. Okay, so that's 12. I need 13. So it's 13. And then of the 2-inch, I need 18. So I'll get 8 out of here, because I know I can get 10 out of an entire strip. So the next strip I can get 10 out of. One, two, three, four, 5, 6, 7, 8. Can I get another one? Probably not, but I'll save it just in case I need to. Don't think I will, though. It's funny how it seems so dark to me back here, but if I add any more light, it washes out the picture on the camera. Okay, Mohawk Lament. Oh, yeah, okay. If I sound it out, I figure it out. Thank you very much, Mohawk Lament. My day is going fantastic because I'm sewing. That's my favorite thing to do. How's your day going? Okay, and I can get 10 out of here, and then I think that's going to be extra then. 1. Of course she needs you for something. 2. 3, 4, 5, 'It just means to be an SOE. Oh, okay. I'm thinking about like SOE. And then, yeah, and then I got it. Mohawk. Yeah, okay. Yep. Nice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I am going to toss the other one that I was going to save because I have a whole strip that's extra, just in case I need it. Great. Okay, there's that one. Still have, I think, 3 more colors to sew together. 1, 2, 3. Yep, 3 more sets. This is the second most boring part of the stream for me sewing. The first is cutting out the solid pieces. The second is just sitting and sewing strips. So when I sew my strips, I never put pins in them. I just line them up and take the one that's the longest and put it on the bottom. Because as you're sewing, your top strip is actually going to get stretched out a little bit. So you always put the one with the less material in the strip on top. And then you just put it in there and sew. As long as you're constantly watching to make sure that the strips are lined up, absolutely nothing else you need to do. I'm still trying to think of things that I can do for streaming when I'm down in Maryland. Because I don't want to go a few weeks without streaming. I want to stream at least a few times every couple days. And it breaks fewer needles. Oh yeah. Yeah, because you know I sew over my needles. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to oil this. The more I use it, the more it's squeaking. Oh, do I even have my oil up here? Or is it one of my other drawers? If I've got it here. Yeah. Well, Nicole and I were thinking of doing a stream where we... Yep, nope, I'm going to have to go find my oil. I won't do it today, though. We were thinking about playing Jackbox one night, and then invite everyone to come and join us. You know, kind of live stream it with the code and everything. So anyone that has the code can play with us. See, if I did a Fun with Flags, I'd have to have a big board behind me with the topic on there, and I'd have to find a co-host, and then I'd have to find people to play music in the background. The Fun with Flags sounds like a good idea. It's just too labor intensive. Although I am going to live stream on Facebook a ton while I'm at the Spring Quilt Market in St. Louis. Because I'm doing a few giveaways. I was lining a whole bunch of them up last night, this morning, and I am super excited. You know, it's funny because I have a really hard time. Okay, again, the whole, it has to be simple. The chainsaw juggling for beginners, that's not a simple thing, Doug. So I have a problem with asking companies and people for free things. Spring Market is after Tidewater Comic Con. So next weekend is Free Comic Book Day. The weekend after is Tidewater Comic Con, which is in Virginia Beach. It's the first year I'm doing it. And then the weekend after that is Spring Market in St. Louis. So I have problems asking for free things from people and from companies. I can't, even if it promotes them, you know, if I put a little thing on my, I put their logo on my Twitch, or if I do something else, I have problems asking for stuff, but I have no problems with asking for free things to give away to my fans. Because it's not for me, right? It's for you. So yeah, so I've been going around and asking for free things for all of you guys so I can give a bunch of stuff away at Spring Market. It's going to be awesome. I wish there was a way that I could live stream directly through Twitch on my phone, and there's not. I have to have my computer set up. No, I don't need a minion. I'm not selling anything. It's a professional show. Meaning, I'm going to be in meetings and talking to people about quilts the entire time I'm there. You won't have any fun, trust me. Although I actually am bringing someone with me. So Susan, the lady that helps me out here in London making all of my pillows now, is coming with me. But she's not there for minion duties. She's there just to enjoy the show, you know, and do all her stuff. I don't know how much I'll even see her. Although I do appreciate your offer for your minion abilities. So, Nicole and I had a long talk in Chicago at C2E2, and if New York will have us, we'll do it. We'll definitely do New York. We'll find out in June if we're in or not. And then if we're in, yes, I want you to be a minion. I think you would love it. Alright, let me work on the grays and blacks. Yeah, because I know I had said that we were still waffling back and forth if we were going to do it or not, and part of the decision of if we were going to do it is if we found someone to handle driving and all of the heavy lifting stuff. And I know you're amazing at that, and you're absolutely wonderful, and you said you could do it because you're done with your doctorate. So we sat down, had a long, hard talk, and said, okay, you know what? I just make too much money to pass it up. It's funny, before I started doing New York Comic Con, so New York, and I can't go into a lot of specifics, obviously, on a public place, but the logistics for New York Comic Con are ridiculous. Just the load in, the load out, the hours, it's just the logistics are so hard to do. Plus, finding a place to stay that's reasonably priced, you know, all of that stuff. So someone warned me before I did it, someone that I know that does it every single year, that said, it's one of those conventions where it gives you stress leading up to it. You have so much stress and so many problems, and you keep telling yourself, why do I do this to myself every single year? And after you set up, you tell yourself, oh, you know what, I am never doing this again. This is just too hard, it's too much, I'm never doing it. And then whenever you load out, you think the same things. And then Monday morning, you count your money and you go, okay, let's sign up for next year. And it really is that for me. Okay, black and gray. Yep. And that won't be until June-ish. So we need to figure out, I need 2 other minions. I need 2 minions that can help us during the show. Now, oh my gosh. So someone told me that if you help in the show, a way that you could look less imposing, because you are a really tall, big guy. And you can't help it. Sometimes you look, a little imposing. Nice. Fantastic. I always love local people, right? So I need to remind me later to tell you about that stuff. So we have space for 2 more minions. I have a gentleman that minion for us 2 years ago who was amazing. I may message him. But I don't have to make any decisions until June. Okay, so this is black with gray. So I need 20 of these. 1, 2, 3. Oh, you know what? I just realized I forgot to change my topic. Edit. Yeah, people may be coming into my stream going, why? I thought she was making a Wonder Woman quilt. Why? What's she doing now? Now you may have noticed I have a little tiny bit of the selvage on this piece here. That's not going to matter. It's under a 1/4 inch, so you're not going to see it. What do you mean if they know you, they will understand? Okay. Oh. Oh, you mean for the title of the... Thanks, Doug. You're funny. Alright. So that's 6. This is going to be another 6. Now the nice thing about this quilt that's different from the Amazon Warrior quilt is it is actually a little easier to do, and so will run faster. So once I get all the actual pieces cut, putting the quilt itself together won't take as long as that one did. Okay, so I have 12. I need a total of 20. So this will give me 18. Okay, so that's 18, 19, 20, and now I need 16 2-inches. So I'll cut 6 here because I know the other strip can give me 10. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and I'm going to have an extra set of strips. Oh, so Nicole and I figured out, so the next quilt after this is based on Mega Man. We haven't figured out a really cool name for him yet. We're working on it now. And we figured out what is coming after him is going to be one based on Loki. people have been asking me for years for something with Loki on it. This should be 10 on here. So we're finally doing that. Okay, that should be 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Perfect. Yeah, you may also have noticed that whenever, after I cut strips, I split them into 2 piles. These are the ones whose seams are facing the gray, and the left is the ones that are facing the black. So that way you can split it to make it easier when you are doing your pattern. Okay. I have, ooh, Norse Mischief God. That sounds good. What about Mega Man though? That's the one that's the one who's next that we need a name for. That's the one that we can't figure out something. I was thinking of Jumping Man, but I don't like the way that sounds. I do like the Norse Mischief God, though. Oops. I am out of bobbin thread. No, definitely not Mega Man. Because Mega Man is a trademarked name. No trademarks or copyrights. What's a talk back channel? Oh, where you can talk to me? No! Because then it'll I have no sound. Because if I have sound on it, then I'm going to hear myself with the sound. And then what if I get a ton of people in my chat, they all want to talk over each other? I know it's easier than typing. Hence why 9 times out of 10 when you message me, I can't message back. Hand Blaster Man. Maybe. If I can't find anything else, then yeah, that would work. I'm trying to think of something a little bit more catchy. Yeah, I know. But it's an idea. Marley, honey, I'm going to have to roll this chair back. I know. You're very precious. You're very sweet. Yeah, I know. It's fine. I'll figure something out. You gotta move, baby boy. Move. Thank you. I know, honey. I love you too, but you get in my way. Rockman. Yeah, maybe. What about just Blaster Man? That may work. Okay, so this is green with gray. I need 1 and 2. 1 and 2. Yeah, I know. Rockman isn't, that's not how you describe Mega Man at all. He doesn't do anything with rocks. At all. So I know that that would be copyrighted, but I don't think that that would convey the same sense. Yeah, don't worry about that one. He's not being released till June, so we have time to figure him out. Okay, so I need 6 of these. Done with that. You can go over there. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, maybe Blaster Man. No, no, no. I will never split the legal hairs. Ever. Because this is my business. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. My business on the line. So, when it comes to trademark and copyright, I am going to be 100% on the side of the law. Alright, so that's all the pieces. Yay! Now, let's make a quilt. Alright, now all my pieces are all cut out, so now I'm going to lay them all out in a way that's going to be easy for me to grab. So, the ones that I'm going to use the most, sorry, I'm just moving that down, will be here. So that'll be the background and the gray. Okay, these are all going first. There we go. There we go. That's not going to be until the top of it. Now, you may have seen, so these green ones over here, that's not going to be used to the very top of the quilt, so I can actually take this completely, set it aside someplace. And this is also going to be near the top. So I can put that over there too. So after I get rid of all of this is when I'm going to be using these. So I laid them out in a way that is that's going to make sense for how I'm doing it. So I'm doing 2 quilts at the same time. So I'm going to be doing 2 rows of the exact same thing. In fact, let me move that off of there. Okay, so 2 rows of the exact same thing. I need 2 of that. So I'm doing 1 row. There we are. Let's move that down just like that. Perfect. Okay, seams towards the black, so the seam needs to go down towards the background. And then I need to do all these. So I need to go towards the cream, towards the black, towards the cream, towards the black, towards the cream, and towards the black. And then towards the black with the background, towards the background, that's 2 of these, 2 of these, and that's my first row for both quilts. So I'm going to now pin them. There. Alright, so my seam's pointing to the right. So I'm picking up the one on the right, flipping it over, so this way after I sew it, I know which way that seam is going to be ironed. As long as I don't flip this over at all and I keep it the same direction, I'm good to go. for row number 2. Now I'm going to do 3 rows at a time because I have enough space on my table in order to lay out 6 rows. Okay, I need to go towards the black with the gray. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then towards the gray. And the background. Quilt like the wind. Thanks for swinging by, Doug. I appreciate it. Good luck on your show tonight. Okay, so in the second row, my seams need to point towards the left. So I'm picking up the left piece, putting it on top of the right piece, and then pinning it. So this way, whenever I'm done sewing it, I know I iron it in the same direction. That way. Marley, honey, you know I'm going to have to move you in a minute. Like, he's literally laying on top of my pedal. My sewing pedal. Okay, and then the third row. And then I will start sewing them together. Okay, I need to go towards the black. And I chose to go towards the black because for the past couple of times I've taken towards the green. So just to balance them out. And then towards the black for the gray. Towards the tan with the gray. And then 1, 2, 3 of the long ones. There's 2, 2, 3. And one of these. I need to go towards the gray with the tan. And this is towards the black. I'm going to go towards the black with the background. And then background. Okay, and in this case, the seams need to point to the right. So I pick up the pieces, take the right piece, put it on top of the left piece, and pin it. dropped a few pins. One. Oh, there's the other one I dropped. Oh, and there's another one. I try to pick up the pins when I can because I don't want the dog stepping on them and getting pins in their feet. Alright, Marley baby, you gotta move now. I'm sorry, honey. Okay, now I'm also gonna set up my clothing rack. There we go. Come on. There we go. And this is what I use to put my strips on. Oops. I always like to get the collapsible ones. There we go. That way, it's easier for me to make some more room. So I can take it down and put it back up again. Okay. Why don't you go lay in your bed, baby? That right there. Go lay in your bed. So this first row has one more pass of sewing than the other rows do. So I'm going to iron and repin the first row and resew it so it catches up to the other rows. That way I don't have to worry about being out of sync. Okay, get him up, Marley. Go on, baby. Here, come here. I'll give you... Is this what you want? You want a greenie? Would you like a greenie? All right, come here. I'm going to put it over here in your bed. It's over here. Oh, Marley, come here. Go. Look, I put it in your bed. Look. It's in your bed. Okay, well, you don't like your bed there. Okay, let's put your bed right here. More water. Okay, so let's go to the right. Okay, now my seams are to the right, so all I have to do is just make sure they're to the right in the exact same order that I iron them in, and then I can just flip and pin. I don't have to lay it back out again to check to make sure everything is good. You just flip and pin. And the trick that I mess up every now and then is to make sure your seams are pointed in the right way. Because if your seams are pointed in the right way, you've got the pieces wrong, and then you're going to sew them together wrong. Okay, to the right, yes. Okay. I'm laughing at the cat over there. Luckily, since I put the ironing board back over on the other side, she hasn't tried to jump on it or jump on my computer or sewing machine yet. She has a bad habit of doing that. It's quite annoying. There we go. Just making sure I'm doing it the right way. Whenever I use the cutting gizmo from Gypsy Quilter, I have to make sure that I do it in reverse, because the last piece to be sewn has to be the first piece to be placed down to go in opposite order. So that way when I iron them, that they're in the exact order that I want in order to flip and piece, to make it go faster and more efficient. So when you see me looking at the pieces, when I'm getting ready to separate them, that's what I'm doing, is I'm looking for the end of it, so I can cut the last piece first. Alright, now let me iron and piece the first one. I'm going to iron and piece them all. Oh, actually I want to combine these because there's 4. If there is an even number, when it gets down to only 2 pieces, I like to iron them together. Sew them and iron them together. You know what, I'm going to put this and hang on there. My elbow keeps bumping it. Still to the right. I'm doing 2 quilts, Tony. Come on, you gotta remember that. You're not doing your normal back and forth. You're doing 2 of each. It's okay, Marley. It's okay. The cat has said I'm gonna scare him. Just making sure that my seams are pointing the right way. In this case, it is to the left. Now, one of the things that helps me is that the light green is the background. And the last quilt that I did, the Amazon Warrior, there were some background pieces in the middle of the actual picture. This one, all of the background pieces are at the edges. So the only time it's kind of in the middle is at the top where he's got the little leaf on his head. Okay, and this is to the right. So that's easy for me to tell that it should be to the right because here's the background. And I still always double check it just to make sure. Now, for the last two, there are 3 pieces and not 2. So I'm not going to combine them together because I don't want to confuse myself and accidentally, which I've done before, pin pieces together that shouldn't be there. Because when I start when I start sewing fast, it's easy for me to forget that, oh wait, hold on, that row has had 3 pieces, not 2. And yes, I have done it. Okay, and again to the right. Okay, these need to go to the right. Now these are the first row for 2 quilts. So, first 2 rows I'm going to pin together. So here is row 1, the first quilt. And row 1 for the second quilt. Oops. Now over here on the ironing board, if I take a look at where my seams are ironed, if my seams look like that when it comes off of the sewing machine, I flip them to make sure that my seams are pointing down, because then as I iron it, when I iron the seam up, it's now pointing all in the same direction. Okay, and this is to the left. So here's row 2 for the first quilt. So I'm going to put it on top of row 1. And here's row 2 for the second quilt. So I'm going to put it on top of row 1. Okay, row 3, seams are pointing to the right. Here's row 3. All right, let me free the other row 3. I missed my thing. Okay. Now, see, in this case, the seams are pointing up. So I'm going to actually take this one and flip it so the seams are pointing down. And this one, the seams are already pointing down. Okay, now these are rows 1 and 2, so I'm going to move this down so I only see rows 1 and 2 as I'm pinning it. Here is row 1. And row 2, the seam should be pointing to the left. Row 1, seams pointing to the right. Yep, that's right. Flip row 1 onto row 2. And then find where the seams meet and pin them into place. Now, for the ones where there is no seam that meets it, I just find them and I still pin those down because as I sew, I do not want the seam to get caught in the presser foot and have it be flipped. I want to eliminate as much bulk as I can. It just makes it easier when you're doing the actual quilting of it. That's the 3. That's right. So I want to iron this so I can free the other set of. Now, you notice how I hung it on my clothes rack. My brain's not working. When I do the second one, I'm going to hang it in a different part of the clothes rack. Okay, so this is row 3, so seams point to the right. Okay. Now I'll sew the row 3s in order to free the second quilt for row 1 and 2. Great, so, like I said, this is the row 1 and 2 for the second quilt. So I've got my first one here. I'm actually going to take this one and hang it behind it. So I have 2 separate rows going for the 2 separate quilts. Okay, so this one, I'm going to wait on that one. Alright, so I'm going to cover up my first 3 rows because those are the ones that are made. And continue on. So, row 4. Let me move that out of the way. Okay, towards the black. Solid gray. Okay, and then I need one. Okay. And towards the tan. And then towards the tan. Then a solid. Use the other ones. Towards the gray. Another solid. And I've got a third set of these. So I'm going to use the same ones in my hand. Gray. Gray. Solid gray. Black and gray. We borrowed that one. We'll take that one. Okay, black on top. Now, because this is such a long, intensive one, I'm going to double check before I pin anything. And then background. Okay. Okay, great. Okay, and then seams for this row are pointing to the left, so I'm going to pick up the left piece onto the right, pin it in place. My plan for today, obviously I want to get as far as I can in the stream, and then I'm going to make my family some dinner, and then I'm actually going to come back down and keep working on this one off stream, just so I can get as far through this as I possibly can. And then I will be taking a break at 8 o'clock to watch the Caps game. Although, you know what I was just thinking? I need to cut the pieces for the next Catan quilt that I'm doing. Because I'm teaching the class at Gen Con. Maybe I'll wait and do that tomorrow, because I think there's a hockey game Monday night. Let's see. Hockey. And that's something that I can do while I'm watching the hockey game, is sit and work on my Catan pieces. Because it's the hand. Yes, Monday at 7:30. Okay, so I'll do that tomorrow then. So, yeah, I figured out one of the things in tomorrow's stream. I'm going to be cutting the pieces for the second Catan quilt that I'm doing. I think this is the row that has the most pieces of the entire quilt. So it has all these little pieces for the designs on his chest. Okay, row 5. Okay, towards the gray. I was just making sure the last few pieces I have of those, if it mattered which direction, oops, wrong one, if it mattered the direction that the seam pointed, and it doesn't. Just planning ahead. How did I cut those wrong? I didn't. Okay. They were hiding underneath the big ones. That didn't make sense. I'm like, why? Okay, that makes sense now. Alright. Like, I know this pattern is absolutely correct because I have made it a few times and followed it, and I know there's no problems with it. Okay, and there's 4 left of those, and that's what I need for the next row. Okay, towards the black. And then the black. And then I'll do a quick double check before I pin them together. What I'm looking for in the double checks is making sure not only do I have all the pieces, but have I flipped any of the pieces upside down, like I have a tendency to do, or do I have them in the wrong place? Okay, and in this row the seams are pointing to the right. And if, of course, you're watching this on YouTube, if you're interested in purchasing any of my patterns, my website has a direct link to them in both Craftsy, which I really, really like Craftsy. I'd prefer you buy them in Craftsy because then you can upload a finished picture of your project, or to my Etsy shop. So if you would rather purchase it through Etsy, I also have them there as well. But like I said, the Craftsy is really cool. It's one of my favorite sites for patterns. Because let's say if you buy this Japanese wood spirit pattern, if you decide that that you want me or anyone else to see what the finished quilt looks like, you upload it attached to my pattern right in Craftsy, and then anyone that searches that pattern can see your finished product. So it's pretty cool. I know I said that a couple of times, but I mean it. I really like it. The nice thing I also like about Craftsy is not only do they have the patterns, but you can also buy any of the supplies. So let's say if you are trying this for the first time and you don't have a rotary cutter or mat, you can buy them right there on Craftsy. So you can see the supplies that you need to make the pattern and then do a search and buy those supplies. It's a unique site. There we go. Alright, and now for the last one that I'm laying out. And this is going to use all of my cream colored fabric. So towards the black with the gray, gray, towards the black with the gray, okay, I'm going to use the rest of these, so that one, two, I just realized I have a couple of hosts and it's not popping up in my event list. It's supposed to. Yeah, nope, the hosting is working. That's really strange. It's probably just broken today. Well, I apologize. So I've got I Am Lyra, Pink Pariah, and Craftiness is Key. So thanks for the hosts. I appreciate it. Okay, now back to what I was doing. Towards the gray. And towards the gray. Okay. Great. And then, before I start playing with the pinning of them and making sure that the seams are facing the right way, I'm going to take all of these and lay them out. Because the next set, I will need this stuff. There we go. Alright, so my seams need to be pointing to the left. Wrong one. This is what happens when I get a bunch of things going on at the same time. Okay. And last but not least, again, seams are pointing to the left. Okay, let's start sewing them. I'm just going to set row 3 aside for the moment. Oops. Well, the family's home. Good. How was the game? Mike, this is being live streamed. So I think my goal for the stream is to at least get these last 3 rows done. And depending on the time, I may lay out the next few rows, or I may call it a day. At this point, I'm not going to be able to assemble any of the rows in the stream. It's just a matter of same exact thing over and over, laying the rows out and sewing them. Can you turn that down, please? Yeah. Thanks. Don't you dare, cat. Hi, Marley. I'm watching you. Everything's sewn. Now the last few rows I talked about making sure your seams are pointed in the right direction. And to flip them if you need to, you never have to flip it for the first time. So for the first time you iron each row, you just lay it down just like it is. And then when you pick your pieces up after ironing them, pick them up in the opposite order that you laid them down. So I laid them down going right to left. Man, there's a lot of pieces in this one. This really is the longest one of the entire quilt. So in this case now, I'm going to pick them up left to right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 pieces total. So in this case, before I start pinning it, I'm actually going to take the top one and move it over and then pin it just like this. And I do want to pin this first one because I want to free the last one so I can iron and pin all the way down. Hi guys. You know you have a whole hour before it's time to eat dinner. It's not time now. I know you're very excited. I know you're very excited. I know. I have some excited doggies. Bless you. They think because my family came home, it's time to eat dinner, and it's not. Okay, so let me get this sewn and free the last row. Alright, we got this one. There should be 10 here. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, yes, 9, 10. Okay, again, seams are to the left. It has an odd number, so I'm taking the top one off because I want to include the last one. 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, in this case there's 9, so I'm going to do the same exact thing. Because there's an odd number and a little piece all by itself, I want to make sure that I include that. There we go. I include that little piece. So when I finish ironing, I'll pull off the top one to make sure it's included. Okay, and in this case, seams point to the right. So I'm pulling off the top. Now the next row is the exact same thing, so I know I'm going to have an odd number of pieces, and I'll just do the same thing. Okay, and seams point to the right. Oh, I just remembered something else I need to do this week. So I need to write it on my list. There's something about sewing and quilting and creating things that relaxes my mind and allows me to think about stuff. So I'm actually, as I'm pinning and talking, thinking about a lot of things. I'm thinking about Tidewater Comic Con that's coming up in a few weeks, 2 to be exact. I'm thinking about the Catan quilt and teaching that at Gen Con, which I cannot wait to do. I love Gen Con and I love teaching. And I'm just thinking about layouts. I'm thinking about my Twitch stream while I'm in Maryland, what I could do with that. All sorts of things. And most of the time, I'm not thinking about what I'm doing right now with the quilt. Done it so much over the years, it's all kind of become automatic. Okay, so last row. Seams are pointing to the left, and I forgot to count it because I was talking. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Same thing. I want to include that last one. It's almost like how sometimes when you're driving a car and you zone out, and next thing you know, you're home or you're at work or someplace, and you're thinking to yourself, how did I get here? It's the same thing with me with quilting sometimes. I just seem to go on autopilot, and I think that those times when I'm on autopilot and I'm not fully paying attention to what I'm doing is when I make my mistakes. again, this is the same exact row as the one before it, so I don't have to think about it. I know I'm pulling the top one off. that's the last one. One, two, three, 4, 5. So that one will be 6. So I don't have to worry about leaving anything out. And seams point to the left. Oops, I almost did that wrong. This goes on top, because I pulled it from the top. Go, and I'm going to sew this one right away because I want to free the last row so I can iron and pin all of them. Come on, there we go. The last one. Okay. Okay, and this again is to the left, and this one goes on top. Okay, and then this one is going to the right, and this one goes on top. Okay, to the right. Again, it's the same one as the one before. Yeah, there's 3 pieces total. Now, I didn't count the pieces in this case because I know I have to incorporate that first piece that was there. So, if there's an odd number of pieces, like you see here, it's going to go in the end. Okay, and in this case, seams go to the left. Now, this goes on top. In this case, it's an even number. So I'm actually going to combine those two rows to make it easier and more efficient for sewing. Those together like I said I would. All right. Oops. I get hairs all over me. It is, I get them, well, not hairs, string, thread. Wherever I go, because I'm sewing all day, I always seem to get all sorts of threads all over me. Even at shows when I'm not sewing. I don't know what it is. Okay, I did the 4. Great. One, two, three, seams to the left. Now I'm combining this row, this is row 4, with row 3, which is sitting off to the side here. Row 3 is already sewn from before. So I'm going to sew both of the row 4s at the same time. again to the left. I just realized I didn't iron the next row. Okay. I'm going to iron the rest that are there and then put them in the rows that they're going to be combined together. Okay, so this is to the right. Okay, so this is row 5 for the first quilt. And here's row 5 for the second quilt. So I'm going to set this separately from that first row. Oops. And here's row 6 for the first quilt. Now, I'm actually going to take this and set it down first, and then set this one down on top of it. It's because whenever you sew it, you're going to sew here. You need to free it, so you sew that one, and then you sew the other side. Just making sure my seams are right. Seams to the left is what it needs to be. And then here is row 6 for the second quilt. So same thing, I'm setting that aside and then putting that one on top. Now I'm taking one of each, so this is the row 3 from previously, and here's row 4. So I can iron those. Okay, and then I'm going to change this. So I'm going to move these down so I only see rows 3 and 4. And 3, the seams are to the right. 4, seams are to the left. And here's where I do my double check to make sure, yep, it's all good. And then sewing the rows, pinning the rows together. I'm finding the seams, pinning those first, and then going back and pinning the open areas and the seams that don't have any that match up. So in this case, there's a seam underneath here, and you want to pin those, that way they don't fold over under your presser foot in the sewing machine. There we are. So this one's finished, so I'm going to put this with the other strip for the first quilt. So those are there. Let me free this one. Okay, here's the second quilt. There's row 3, row 4. I totally did that, didn't I? It's still not time, Soleil. Okay, same thing. So these are the same 2 rows that I just did for quilt number 2. Okay, to the right and to the left. Looks good. Okay, so here are rows 3 and 4 for quilt 2. So So I'm going to put it back with the first strip for quilt number 2. So I am separating everything out. So even though I'm combining the strips together at the same time, when it gets to separating them, I make sure I split them at that point. Alright, here's the last set. Now, I want to be able to combine both of these sets, so what I'm going to do is actually sew the first row for the first quilt. Because I want to change, so I want to constantly go with my machine, but I don't want to put a scrap piece of fabric in there when I can just sew something else that's part of my quilt. And it actually helps because I'm pre-sewing these strips, so when I get there it doesn't seem like I'm doing a ton of work, because these strips are already sewn. Just the illusion that you're moving faster whenever you're just prepping and doing some work ahead of time. Here we go. Okay, so let's do the first set. Okay, and then we move these, so these are rows 5 and 6. Okay, this is to the left, this one is 6, so this one's to the right, should be 5, and let's see, yep, that lines up perfectly. So no mistakes so far. Like I said, the Japanese wood spirit is actually a pretty simple pattern. Luckily, haven't flipped any pieces or done anything wrong yet. But there's always a first. There we are. So here's 5 and 6 for the first quilt. And let's iron and pin 5 and 6 for the second. And then after this, I think I'm going to call it a day. Because I need to go get started on dinner and feed the dogs because they keep bothering me for food. I am going to stream tomorrow, same time, at least 1 to 4. I may, Eastern Standard Time. I may start a little early, I may go over a little, but I will at least be streaming from 1 to 4. And tomorrow, whatever I don't finish up with this quilt tonight, I will be working on. I'm also going to show you how to take scraps of batting to combine them together. to use for projects. Just because you have two pieces of batting in two separate things doesn't mean that you can't use it for a quilt. It's a very simple fix to sew them together to use, and you won't be able to tell that it's not a solid piece already, that you've sewn them together. I'm also going to cut pieces out for the second Catan quilt version that I'm going to need for my classes. And if you are going to Gen Con this year, it is in August, Nicole and I are teaching classes again. So they're still in the process of being set up. You can sign up for classes at the end of May whenever classes go live. You can take 2 from me. I'm doing 2 hand quilting classes. The first is the Catan, which is a smaller Catan size board as an art quilt. The second class I'm teaching is just basic paper piecing. Just how to do flowers, how to paper piece, what you do. I'm going to have lots and lots of samples of fabrics that you can pick and choose from. You'll be able to cut your own pieces using either the template or using just squares. Yeah, it's a really cool class. It'll be a pop-in class where if you're working on a English paper piecing of your own, you can bring it in. I can help you with it. Basically just use my materials, take them, you bring your own, doesn't make a difference. It'll be a very informal class. So I'm doing, I think I'm doing 2 Catans, and I think I'm doing 3 of the informal classes. So that'll be fun. What else? I think that's it. So those are the 3 things that I'm doing tomorrow in tomorrow's stream. And then I will decide tomorrow what my stream schedule is going to be for next week. So you should be able to see that up as well on my Twitch page and my Twitter page and my Facebook page. So I make sure that I put my schedules up all the time. So thanks for joining me today. I appreciate it. I will see you guys later.